Hello.
Good evening. How's everything in South Africa, Bunzy?
Everything is good, good, good. Just I'm in a different location, so having a little bit of technological difficulties in terms of the network, but hope everything is fine on your side. How are things on your side?
It looks good. Looks good. I understand we have some audio problems with the ambassador of Port St. John.
Yeah, we're trying to sort that out also. But as we try to wait for him, we can just continue with the show and yeah,
Okay, tell, us what to
he'll
do. Tell us what we're going to be, what we are going to see, and then we'll look at the video, and then hopefully on the other side we can have that audio situation straightened out.
yes. So now we are in Port St. John's. So we're going to have a quick tour of the city. We'll talk to the ambassador and we will just get to know more about the city of Port St. John's.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
Yeah, so should we just go right to it?
Let's go right to it.
Awesome. Okay, let's do this in a moment.
Okay. By the way, I'm your host, Johnny Brown, on Wild Words of Wisdom, and Bunzi Mkasa is the
Yes,
co-host.
yes.
Oh, I'm John Bryant with Wow Words of Wisdom, coming to you with a very, very special interview. We want to interview the ambassador of
Port St. John's.
St. John's, Port St. John's, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate this moment. Wow, I'm saying that once more here.
Let's say it again.
Wow,
Words of wisdom.
words of wisdom.
All right. What position do you hold here in this city, and what does it involve?
Okay, thanks a lot. This is Nobile Jojo, born and bred young man in South Africa in Port St. John's, a small town in South Africa called Port St. John's, one of the smallest towns close to the oceans. As the Port St. John's ambassador, I'm one of those little boys that always like to promote and market our hometown. Reason being that we do this, I do this personally. It's not the job, but it's for the love that I have for my own hometown. So I do this thing so that whoever wants to come to Port St. John's, they would see it. It's not something that I do it as if I'm expecting something, but I'm expressing the love and to also open to the nation that God has a purpose for him that he gave us this place.
Now, you told me one thing when we were talking. You said there were four unique things about this city. What are
Thank
those
you.
four things?
In the whole nation, it's rare that you get the four spheres in one place. You can never get a river, an ocean, and a forest and a mountain in one town. Port St. John's has all that.
And the river flows into
The ocean,
the Indian Ocean.
exactly. This beautiful mountain, this Port St. John on its own. When you're coming into town, you walk, you drive in between the mountains, Impembe and Choben, Mount Tesecha and Mount Sullivan. So if you come in here, you'll have a pond of fever. The reason being, all the people that you see in here, they come as tourists. Now they are residents. So we always welcome each and everyone because this is a melting pot. Come one, come all, because we all belong to one God.
Now, I have to ask this question.
Yes.
And I don't know if you would give me an answer, but my sisters have been getting on my case because they intertwine and associate themselves with a lot of African women
Yes.
and African men here in the
Yes.
States.
Mm.
And there's one common thing they say about all of you. Your skin and your teeth are beautiful. What is your secret?
It's not a secret.
What is your secret?
It's not a secret. You know what? If you eat organically, I'm telling you, you'll be fine. Because most of the things that we eat It's what grows around us. The fish that you'll be eating, it's fresh from this beautiful ocean. It didn't go to any refrigerators, it's fresh. So we eat organically food. We don't get stuff that is always be contained or transported by trucks for years or decades. We get something organically from the soil. Be it our maize meal or pap whatsoever. It's something that it's in where we are, because this is a little town. We get everything from here. So that's the secret.
You know, since you said that, it reminds me of a phrase that I always say: use what you got to do what you need to get what you want.
Exactly.
And the key to this whole thing is, I'll say, to put us in a place. We need to utilize where he puts us, obtain the resources that he gave us, so we can prosper as he would wish us to prosper.
Definitely.
And I'm telling you, I have really prospered here. I have prospered from the love, I have prospered from the generosity, and I have prospered from the beauty. Thank you for being on Words of Wisdom. I tell you what, you be the co-host and you tune us out.
Nobile Church, just to say, wow, Words of Wisdom in Port St. John's, Africa, I belong.
So Banji, tell us where we are right now.
So right now we are in the middle of the city. It's a small town, so you can see it's very busy. So if you can just pan the camera, you'll see markets. So today is the first, it's the first week of the month. So usually the first week of the month is usually the biggest, the busiest days, where people get some government grants. The elderly people get some money. Babies between 0 to 14 to 18 years also get money, and then young people who are unemployed also get money. So now the city is heavily dependent on government grants for a living. So not a lot of people have stable jobs. So let's say over 80% of the locals here are dependent on government grants for a living.
Let's walk around so we can see some of the items that are being sold here in the city. So I see we have vegetables over here. Are these homegrown vegetables?
Homegrown vegetables, very organic, very healthy. It's the best you'll find. Unlike the ones you get in the stores that are mass produced. Yeah, so you see.
I'm in here across the street that there are chickens. Let's go over here and see if we can interview a chicken.
How was the chicken that you ate in South Africa?
Very good.
So this is the chickens that we get.
And they are homegrown, correct?
Yeah. This one is called Cornish. It's called a Cornish chicken. Those are the chickens that are used to lay eggs. So most of the eggs you find in stores come from these chickens. And these ones are, so once they've reached the maturity where they can no longer lay eggs, and then they are discarded, and this is where you
Oh, so now I see citrus fruit over here. Oh, and down here.
You want to interview Cocktail?
Yeah. Sir, how you doing? May I interview you? Doing fine.
Yes.
Tell us about what is this produce you're selling?
It's notice.
It's nachos?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you grow them on your own land? What? Do you grow them?
Yes.
Oh, no. I'm bought it.
No, to this house of Dolika.
Okay. I just tell. Just tell.
This thing happened.
He's telling Ipa.
Oh, so he went to buy them in Port Elizabeth, in Gqeberha. This is another city which is about 500 miles from here.
500 miles you drove to get your produce.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's very far.
That's very far.
It's so far.
So are you are you from here?
Yes, I'm from here.
How long have you lived here?
Uhlala ixesha elingakanani sisonke?
Oh, apha ndithengisane nantsi.
Uhlala walapha na.
No, I'm from Galeni.
He's from another town, not from here. He's from another town, not from here. But yeah,
Ndiyodama ndizothengisela lapha ne. Ngunobangela into yobana abantu baninzi abantu abathengisayo phaa, so ndadicide into yobana mandize kuqala na.
so he's not selling in his hometown because there's too many people who are selling in his hometown. So he chose this town, which has not many people that sell his market. So that's why he decided to. So also so after he finished selling his stock, he's gonna go, and which is about 200 miles from here.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And this area is full like this every day.
Like this
Every single day.
up until 5 o'clock later in the evening, then it starts quieting down because everyone goes back to their villages around.
Different names for the Most High. The Most High, Pata, Zambi, Soni Nananini, Ukongkuku, Modimo. And I know those different names that you may have heard. You may not know the meaning. You may not understand what they are, but it boils down to who is the Most High. After coming on this trip, I did not have a clue who I was going to meet. I didn't have a clue as to where I was going. I received an itinerary, but ink on paper cannot describe the actuality or having the ability to witness what we've seen. There are 3 points I want to make. We are all, this group that are here, it's a total of 10 of us. And there are 10 personalities here. There are 10 different points of views here. There are people here that represents the Caribbean, England, the United States, South Africa, and you have all these different personalities and all these different points of view. And it's one thing about being a human that can be a distraction for us all. We all want to be right. We all have a tendency to believe our perceptions and our point of view. But what I have discovered and learned during this trip is that God is so powerful in who he is that he can enable and cause 10 people from 10 different personalities, 10 different points of view to manage to stay together and come together. And at the same token, come closer together in spite of our different perceptions about life. God is an awesome God. And I have learned on this trip that we have a choice to make. That God chose the Messiah to go get one at a time, his 12 disciples. And those 12 disciples made a tremendous difference in the whole world. I'm not saying that we are disciples, but what I am saying is that God is using us, the Most High is using us to allow us to come together in spite of our different perceptions of life, in spite of our different perceptions of how we perceive God, in spite of our different perceptions and our personalities, that we can come together and God can mend us together to begin the dialogue that we need to begin. There's a dialogue that needs to begin with the African Americans in the United States, with the Africans here in Africa. There is a relationship that needs to be developed, and it can develop and begin with us. I just want to thank B2. I want to thank Kim. I want to thank all of you for us being able to come together, to be given the opportunity to mend our broken hearts. I'm John Bryant with Words of Wisdom. See you later.
And we are back.
Yes. I see we're back. Did we get the audio situation squared away?
I think we got it sorted. We've managed to improvise and make a plan. Let's just see if we can hear him. Hi, Nobile, are you there, Mr. Ambassador?
The ambassador is here, loud and clear.
Can you hear him, Uncle?
I can hear you guys. Beautifully.
How have you been?
I'm doing great. I remember one thing, the season is changing. We're coming to summer now, so the rain, it's getting back, and the beautiful trees and flowers are just blossoming after the spring. We can smell all the beautiful, nice air with the beautiful birds flying around us. We are blessed.
Yeah. Did we manage to... Okay.
Go ahead, Bansi.
Okay. Did we manage to represent your city well? Were you happy with what you saw?
Yes. Wow. I'm like, wow, guys, you are champs, because you've touched every part, every corner, hidden, and then now the nation can see.
Yes.
Only thing that I can say is that slowly but surely we're gonna see the influx of people coming down.
Yeah.
To Port St. John's.
Yeah.
With their families and kids, and then the revenue will start to pick up.
Yes, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't finished. There are some more things we're going to show in your city. We haven't finished. I think we have 1 episodes before the episode. But you know what? You were saying that the summer is coming, and the rain is coming, and the flowers are blooming. I can't imagine the place being any better than what I saw it. So you're telling me that it's going to be greener, more flowers than I saw when I was there?
it's a smile because if you can remember very well, our interviews in the river, while we were talking, the birds were singing behind us. Now that has just went, let's say, times 3 on that, and then the grass is just pure green.
Even though the grass is always green.
Yeah. We in Port St. John's, we are very fortunate.
Yeah.
We are that town called Evergreen. Even if it's winter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ambassador, don't sell that property I'm interested in. I want it.
Soon it's gonna be calling your name.
Huh?
It's gonna be calling your name.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Bonzi, you were telling me that you were there at Port St. John's last night.
Yes, I was there last night. I must say I asked the ambassador to accompany me because if you're a VIP, you want someone who's going to sort of sit next to you and keep you company. You don't want to be alone. But I asked the worst person to accompany me. He was everywhere. You know his energy. The moment he got in the venue, he knew everyone. I was sitting there alone, and I'm thinking, I asked this person to come. I invited him, and now he knows everyone in the party, and I'm sitting alone. So
the thing that I made sure is that
tell us a little bit
before you start speaking, I will just make sure that I'm there.
Well, yeah. Bonzi, you know he's a people person. That's why he's an ambassador.
He is a people's person. He knew everyone in that venue, and yet I'm the one who was invited, and yet he knew everyone there. So I love his energy. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Okay, near the end of the show, especially on that airstrip that was on top of the mountain.
Yeah,
I made the statement that it is important for African Americans establish a rapport and relationship with Africans, and Africans, people in Africa, would do the same with African Americans here in America. Ambassador, what are your thoughts about that? And do you think that is an important thing for us to do?
It's quite a great one because remember one thing. If we can start by little things, let's say we can just have exchange visit. Because so that people can see and know how we are in our own way in Africa, you know. For them to understand how Africa is one has to come just step a step in Port St. John's or in anywhere in Africa, but so that they can learn and feel what it means to be an African, you know.
That's a very good point. Bonzi, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah. I remember the question when the first time I picked you up at the airport, and that's what the first thing you asked. And I told you that, you know what, when you are in another country, you have a different perspective, and you sort of your world view of that place or whatever country you are from, you get it from whatever is perceived from the news, for example, or what you read about, and it might not be the actual reflection of what is really happening. So most of us, we're coming, as we mentioned in the video, that we come from different countries, different perspectives, and our perspective of one another is mostly informed by what we've read, the different stereotypes that they share from us, and it's maybe not the actual reality. I mean, and up until you start to travel and you start to meet with one another, and then we realize that actually you are not this person that I thought you were. You are actually different. You are kinder, or you are there are things that I can learn from you. And that was the first thing. Isn't that the first thing you realize, that you thought there's this divide amongst Africans and African Americans, and then when you came in, when you landed in the country and wherever you went, how you were received by the people, you got the love, and you saw how welcomed you were. So it's very important to travel, and it's important that when we engage, we take away our preoccupied stereotypes, and we we get to meet and we get to exchange ideas and develop and build one another. I thought we lost you there for a moment.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
You know what? You put. I'm going to put your foot in your mouth.
Okay.
Definitely.
You that the things that we see on TV may not necessarily be or that we read may not necessarily be a true depiction of me being a Black American. So what did you think that you were going to see, and what did you think that you were going to experience when you saw me get off the plane? Utilize the TV and the things that you have read about us.
Well, for me, I thought you'll be the moment you get off the plane, you'd want to kiss Mother Africa. You want to kiss them. And you'll be like, I'm home.
Hello, Mama.
Kumbaya. That whole. But or to be honest, for me,
be honest.
Yeah, no, for me, when you look at African Americans, I think for me, because we have what we've been, or what has been depicted of African Americans, you see from movies and movies that we love. And so most of our heroes from actors, from these Hollywood movies, are African Americans. So you sort of get programmed that you are looking now and you're seeing someone that is famous or someone that lives this fancy life that you want to aspire to. So you there is that underlined mentality that says, yeah, this person is coming from a better world and they know better or what. So it's just pre-programmed just from watching movies. And then on the opposite, you guys see people, the kids with the fly in the nose, poverty, and that's what basically you are exposed. Criminals, so I would understand how when you land and then you think that, and then when you start to see, oh, actually this is state of the art airport, there's cars. I remember how many of you guys kept on being shocked at how many dealerships they were in South Africa, and we were like, well, we're supposed to have dealerships. How are we supposed to get cars that you're seeing on the roads? So it emanates from that programming that you have had of us as Africans, that we're backwards. We there's high poverty and all of that. So I think we just have to, as we move to in this journey that we want to go into, just to understand that when you look at someone based on what they present and not what you think they are because of previous conditioning. Yes.
Yeah. Just to add
what are your thoughts about?
Just to add more on what Band is saying, if you remember very well, the time we were at the Gap, when you saw those kids, one would say, "No, man, actually, it doesn't look like as if people are living in a bad." The moment they showed us this side of saying we are all equal under the eye of the God, we helped each other by doing. If you saw the beadwork that the kids were doing, because they were like saying, no, actually, this is what we have in Transkei, but particularly important in Port St. John's. You can have this thing. So whenever you are not in Port St. John's, but you always embrace and look, I have this thing. I bought it in Port St. John's for 40 Rand. So that means there's a life beyond what the media is showing to the world about other countries are.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give Bungie the flip side, and Ambassador, you should get him to be one of your associates because he was very politically correct with that question, with that answer. But looking at it from my point of view and the movies that I see quite a bit, I mean, I don't know what movies, Bungie, you've been looking at
Yeah.
from America, but I see.
What happened now?
What's that called?
No, he's just disconnected somehow.
Oh, okay.
I think are you getting a lot of calls? Are people calling you?
He's a busy man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens if you get calls and we are live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think he just has to go off. Anyway, you can tell us more about your city. What else don't you know about your city?
Port St. John's?
Yes. What else? What can people expect?
Okay. As the ambassador, there's a thing that other people always think that it's not something normal, but we are people that stick to our religions.
Hello.
Hello.
Huh?
Can you?
We are losing you. We don't have a lot of. Can you say something? Okay, I know we lost you. Yeah, you can continue.
Can continue. Oh, what I was saying is that there's an element that people always nurture and appreciate of heaven. All the natural resources that we have in, for us, it means a lot because it's something that we need to keep. So your natural remedies, keep them by all means.
Hello.
And making sure that, yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, but we can't see you.
Yes. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is, now the
Hello?
natural resources that we have in,
we lost you. Maybe just rejoin.
Okay. Sure. Just a sec.
Uncle Johnny? Hello? Uncle Johnny?
Uncle Johnny. Okay.
Now, Uncle Johnny?
Yes, can you hear me?
But we can't see you.
Hello?
We can hear you, Uncle Johnny.
Mobile?
Yes.
Mobile?
Yeah, just a sec.
Just rejoin.
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
But we can't see you.
Hello?
I can hear Uncle John, but...
Pumile now.
Okay,
now?
Can you hear me?
Oh, join room.
I'm the only one that's visible, guys. So...
How about now?
Okay. If I could read it.
Okay.
Visible, guys. So...
Just a sec. Okay.
Okay, your sound is back. Yeah, and I think we should
connection problem.
Hello, can you hear me now?
we can hear you, but we can't see you.
We can't see you.
The audio.
There you go.
How is that?
I think we should. Is that your audio?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
But that's okay. As long as you can hear me.
There you go.
How is that?
I think we should. Can you mute the other device?
Okay.
Can you say something, Uncle John?
Can you mute the other device? Yes. How is that?
I'm still getting feedback.
Yeah. Tifele.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Banzi.
Back.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yes, loud and clear.
No, it's fine. We can hear you now.
Yes, Uncle Jay.
Say something. I think there's a quick delay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You can say something.
Yes, I can.
Bye.
It seems like
I can hear you, Uncle Jay. Banzi.
Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, hold on. My speaker is acting crazy.
Yeah, but I can hear you this side.
Okay, I have to hear you through another device.
Okay.
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 Oh yeah. Now, what were we talking about?
You were asking a question. You were asking me a question, but
I was just expressing what other things that people don't know about my town.
Okay, now what were we talking about?
You were asking the device.
Oh, the question I was asking.
Yeah.
What other things that people don't know about my town?
Yeah, there's.
Okay, what were we talking about?
You were asking the device.
Oh, the question I was asking.
Yeah. Okay, Uncle Johnny, I think we should leave it for today, and then we'll continue with the topic the following week. Because I think there's quite a huge delay with the sound. Yeah. And we'll continue with the topic the following week.
That's a good idea because we're having some technical difficulties.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Johnny Bryant of Wild Words of Wisdom and Bunzi Mkasa. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're having some technical difficulties. Okay, we'll begin this again next week.
Next week.
Well, I'm Johnny Bryant of Wild Words of Wisdom, and we'll see you next week.